The world actually has a strategy guide, a sort of hidden operating system. Most adults, they rarely talk about it. And honestly, some only figure it out way, way later in life. But you've got the curiosity to understand it right now. Welcome to This Explainer. I'm just going to sit right here with you, take it nice and slow, and break down exactly how this world works in plain English. We're going to look at a highly guarded secret about money, technology, and why all the so-called financial adults of the world are currently sweating.
Because lately, if you look really closely, the adults are panicking. The global stock market has been accelerating, like this crazy roller coaster that just suddenly decided to drift around a sharp corner in July. So why is that? Well, it's because the absolute biggest tech giants in the world, companies like Apple, Microsoft, TSMC, they are about to release their final exam report cards. And that's causing massive, violent swings in the stock market. But while everyone else is panicking on the ride, you and I, we're going to peek right behind the curtain.
Chapter 1: Final Exams and Defense Gear. Now, to really grasp what's happening here, we don't need all that complicated Wall Street jargon. Trust me. We just need to look at it like a competitive video game. Think of it like we have two main items in our inventory. On the left, you've got your high-risk offense, tech stocks. Think of earnings season like the very end of a ranked match. These tech giants, they have to show their scorecards to the world. How much money they made, if their AI gear upgraded, and if their scores are god tier, their stock prices absolutely skyrocket. But if they just do, okay, people completely freak out and sell. It's a massive high-risk offensive play. But then on the right, we have tech bonds. Imagine a bond is this ultra-stable IOU from a mega-rich tech boss. They borrow money to build giant AI data centers, and in return, they promise you a guaranteed fixed interest rate. And the kicker? They never default. So right now, because the stock market is just so volatile, players are cashing out their offensive gear and buying these tech bonds as a guaranteed defensive shield.
Chapter 2: Butterfly and Herdganic. So this isn't just a game for billionaires. These corporate report cards, they trigger massive ripples. It's a true butterfly effect. Like, for example, if the US tech bosses show great grades, it means the world still desperately wants AI. And that immediately dictates the success of Taiwan's massive AI chip supply chain. But if they stumble, it impacts everything, literally right down to the price of your very next smartphone or gaming console. And this illustrates a concept called herd behavior. Just picture a wide, green pasture absolutely filled with sheep. Suddenly, the leading sheep, which might be a massive investment firm, sees a tiny shadow, just a slightly missed data point on a report card, and it sprints to the left in pure terror. The rest of the flock? They have zero idea what's happening, but they blindly panic and sprint left too, completely crashing the market. During this July earnings season, the herd is totally panicking. But you're not a blind sheep. You are a calm observer sitting quietly on the hill. Chapter 3: World's Cafe True Words. To see who is actually moving the pieces, let's step into a late-night cafe where the global economies are gathered. Over in the VIP section, we've got the United States, represented here as this bold golden retriever. He just slams his coffee cup down on the marble table. He represents this super aggressive, action-driven strategy. He basically says, I don't just want to win, I want to set the rules. I am dominating both the high-risk AI stocks and sweeping up the tech bonds. I dictate this game. Now, sitting directly across from him is China, looking like a deep, incredibly observant Tibetan Mastiff. Doesn't even blink. He just sips his tea in the dim light and delivers this incredibly patient counter-strategy. He murmurs, let the stock market fireworks fade. I am silently gathering tech bonds. I hold my bottom line. I can wait, but I must get what I want. At the very next table, the air is cold and super calculated. Germany, a focused German shepherd, pushes up his glasses, typing rapidly. He's taking this cold, rational, totally mathematical approach. He states flatly, emotion cannot solve problems, but systems can. He is perfectly hedging his risks, moving assets into tech bonds without a single ounce of emotional interference. Beside him is Japan, a Shiba Inu, meticulously organizing his documents right down to the millimeter. Amidst all this global chaos, his focus is entirely on precision parts and maintaining the deep foundation of the supply chain. He whispers, "I do not need to be seen, but I will be the best." Over at the bar, sipping Earl Grey tea and smoking a cigar, is the United Kingdom, a bulldog. He's just watching the panic with this cynical, observant detachment. To him, the whole earnings frenzy is just a predictable loop. Just a cyclical game of capital, he says. I don't need to play, but I totally understand it. Suddenly, there is this burst of noise from the corner. It's India, an energetic Indian dog, and he views this extreme volatility not with fear, but as a massive opportunity. Earnings are just blind boxes, he says. Stock bargains, high bond interest. Man, there are so many fun ways to make money right now. Right next to him, wiping a little sweat from his brow, is Vietnam, the Phu Quoc Ridgeback. Despite the immense pressure of global supply chains constantly shifting around, his dedication is totally unwavering. I won't say much, he says, but I will hold the line. Regardless of the tech giant's grades, the factory gears won't stop. Over by the candlelit tables, France, a romantic French bulldog, just sighs at the digital storm raging outside. She offers this really beautiful critique of the world's pure obsession with data. She points out, without passion and aesthetics for the future, numbers mean nothing. If we lose the human connection, what is the point of the market? Looking pretty nervously into a mirror is South Korea, a Pomeranian. You can literally see the high-stress, hyper-competitive anxiety right in his eyes. For him, memory chip specifications are absolutely everything. Earnings are the world's scorecard, he mutters. I must be better to be worthy. Then there's Thailand, a Thai Ridgeback, gently offering everyone warm cookies. In the dead center of all this ambition and anxiety, she plays this peaceful, harmonious role. She just softly says, "It's only truly good if everyone is good and safe," wishing well for the entire cafe. And right in the center of the room, quietly observing the entire flow of the cafe, sits Taiwan, a mixed-breed dog. She just sips her warm oolong tea. She is the highly empathetic, silent core of the universe. She feels the US's anxiety, China's ambition, Germany's cold math, and she knows that her semiconductor chip heart literally holds the entire global operating system together. She just smiles quietly to herself and thinks, I see it all, but I don't have to say it. Chapter 4, Your Exclusive Cheat Codes. So, we leave the cafe and we come right back to you sitting right here on the couch. You now know more about the global operating system than most adults running around in an absolute panic. But look, knowledge without action, that's just trivia. So I am entrusting you with 2 exclusive cheat codes. These are real-world strategies to play this adult game completely risk-free. Step 1 is activating your financial giant observation radar. Starting today, when you're scrolling online and you see headlines about big tech earnings or bond yields, don't just swipe past. Pause for exactly 3 minutes. Read it. Realize that the gadgets you use every single day are the direct result of these giants sparring with report cards and IOUs. Step 2 is the 100K virtual coin defense test. You don't need real money for this. Just imagine I dropped 100,000 virtual coins right into your account. Pretend to split it. Put 50,000 into an offensive tech stock you really admire, and the other 50,000 into a defensive tech bond ETF. Grab a notebook, track them for a month, and just watch how the offense and defense react to the real world. It is the absolute ultimate real-world simulation. You know, you are at an age where you're brilliant enough to stop and decode the logic of the world right alongside me. Your sharp curiosity, that is your absolute greatest asset. Never ever lose it. By understanding the game instead of just blindly playing it, you don't have to be a panicked sheep. You can be the calm commander of your very own financial destiny. So, when the next big tech company releases its report card tomorrow, will you panic with the herd? Or will you use your new radar to spot the massive opportunity?